Hello everyone, today we're going to be installing the Cali Raised LED 32-inch lower bumper light bar kit for the 2016 and up Toyota Tacomas. This is an awesome kit because it fits directly in the OEM lower opening on the vehicle and looks as it came from the factory. Not only does it look good, but it produces a ton of light. Included in your kit will be the following: a 32-inch LED light bar, a driver and passenger side mount, and a wiring harness. With your light bar, you will not be using any of the hardware or mounting brackets that were included in the box. The only thing you will be using that is in the box with the light bar is the included Allen wrench. That will be used when you attach the light bar to the mounts. Inside, with the mounts, you will have the following hardware. You will have two M6 washers, two M6 bolts, two M6 split washers. You will have four 1/4-inch washers, two 1/4-inch bolts, and two 1/4-inch nuts. To complete the installation, you will need the following tools: a 14mm socket, a 3/16 Allen, a 12mm socket, a 10mm socket, a 7/16 wrench, a small pick or flathead screwdriver, an extension, and a ratchet. So the first part of this install is going to be to remove the grill from the truck. To do that, we are going to start by removing the two 10mm bolts that are holding it on right here, and then we are going to remove the clips on the side, which we will show you. So on your 2018 and up Tacomas, they're going to have the front radar behind the Toyota emblem. So we are going to have to unplug this right here, and then we are going to remove another small tab. So we're going to unplug this here, and as you will notice, here is where you're going to have to press down. It is pretty stiff, so you're probably going to have to press down pretty hard as you pull it out. Now we are coming to this tab right here, which you can simply push in and it'll drop right out like that. Now we are ready to remove the grill. We just got to lift up these tabs up here, and all you got to do is give it a pull and it'll unclip. Now you will see that these wind deflectors, they have them on both sides of the vehicle. These are going to need to be removed. For this install, we are not going to be putting these back on. We are just going to be removing them, and you can keep them or discard them. To remove them, you will need to put your little pick or your flathead underneath this tab right here and remove. After you pull the tab out right here, there's nothing else holding them in other than some clips. So all you have to do is kind of pull it at an angle and give it a little tug, and they will come right out. As you can see, those are the little tabs that hold them on. Now, coming to the other side, we are going to do the same thing. Pull that out. And there they are. So now that we have the wind deflectors removed, we are going to remove these two 12mm bolts. While removing these, typically we like to use an extension because it can be difficult to get your hand down there. Please be careful, as these fins are sharp, and if you hit your hand on them, you can cut yourself. Now, once we remove that second bolt, we are going to lift and push this up. The reason is that it's very tight down here, and when we need to get the light bar in here in a second, you're gonna need to have this out of the way. We will be reinstalling these bolts, so please keep them close. Now that we have this pushed back, we are going to remove the 2 inner 14mm crash bar bolts. These will be very tight, so it will be best to use a 1/2 inch drive, or if you have a power tool to assist you, that is handy as well. Now it is time to put the light bar in. This is very important because you need to make sure you put the light bar in before attaching the mounts, or else you will not be able to get the light bar in. You have to do all of these things in the order I am doing them so that you do not have to backtrack on the install. You are going to want to put the light bar in with the wire side facing the driver's side of the truck, so that when you go to wire it, everything's on the right side. So what you're going to do is you're going to drop the light bar in on the passenger side, come around, and slide it in just like that. Now that we have the light bar in, we are going to just flip it so that the lens is facing down and let it sit on top of the crash bar. A thing I like to do is take the wire and put it on the side so that it doesn't get caught up in anything as we are installing the mounts. Now we are going to install the Cali Raised LED brackets. We are starting on the passenger side. You will notice the part on the bracket right here is going to fit over the stud that you removed the 14mm nut from. Then the upper part will be installing in the hole that had the clip that held your wind deflectors on. So to do this, we put the mount in sideways, pull it towards the truck, rotate, put it over the hole like that, and then you can just let it set like that. Now we are moving to the driver's side. The brackets are the exact same, just mirrored. So you're going to do the same thing, drop it in, and you're going to spin it so you can get it over the stud. One thing you will notice is I have not tightened anything down yet. The reason is we need to make sure everything is situated properly before tightening everything down, and we need to get all of the bolts in the light and the mounts, because if you tighten one of these mounts down, it will be crooked and it will make the install extremely difficult. So now I have everything situated. I am going to start to loosely attach the brackets to the truck. So I'm going to take the nut and place it back on and just get it to where it is hand tight. You will notice these brackets are slotted, so you will get a lot of adjustment out of it. So that's why we want to make sure that nothing gets tightened down too quickly. We are going to take our 1/4 inch bolt and washers and nut, and we are going to place them inside the upper hole on the mount. So we are going to go bolt, washer, washer, nut. And just like we did on the other one, we're going to go hand tight. So now the bracket is fully attached to the vehicle. And like I said before, you will notice how much up and downward adjustment you get. This is very important because when we are putting the LED bar on, you are going to need to adjust it so the LED bar will fit perfectly in the lower opening of the vehicle. Now that we have both mounts secured to the vehicle, we are going to put the 12mm bolts back in. We want to do it before we install the LED bar on the mounts, because when the light bar is mounted, it's very difficult to get your hand in there to tighten them down. So we're going to go ahead and do it now before we attach the light to the mounts. Now we are going to attach the LED bar to the mounts. Please note that this can be the most difficult part of the install because you do not have very good visibility when attaching the bolts to the light. So please be patient as this can be a bit difficult and you might need a helping hand. So right now I have the bolt threaded into the light and I am going to begin to tighten it hand tight. You do not want to tighten it down fully because it will make it more difficult when you go to do the other side. You will just want to hand tight to get a few threads in, then get the other side the same. So now we have the light bar loosely threaded to the mounts and everything is fully attached. As you will see here, everything is threaded, so you get a lot of movement. And what that allows you to do is finally adjust everything so that it is sitting perfectly. Typically, when I install this, I will pull everything up as much as it can, tighten these bottom bolts down, and the light will be sitting pretty much perfect. So I like to tighten these ones down first before going at everything else, because if the bottom of the mount is secured, nothing else will be moving up or down. So we're gonna go ahead, pull up, and we are going to take our 14 millimeter and we are going to tighten it. And if you notice that I didn't really fully tighten it, I'm just getting it so that it will hold it secure and not move as I'm adjusting or tightening the rest of the mounts or the light. You will notice that it is sitting pretty perfect in that opening. So you might have to adjust up and down a little bit, but typically you're able to do it pretty close if you pull the mount up all the way. I am going to go ahead and tighten the upper parts of the mounts so that they are secure, and then I am going to tighten the LED bar. Now we have our mount secured. Please note, we did not fully tighten these lower ones down yet, so you will have to finish tightening these after we tighten down the light bar. Now we are going to make sure our light bar is angled where we want the light to output towards, and then we are going to tighten it down. Now that we've finished installing the mounts and the light bar, it is time to reinstall the grill. So all you're gonna have to do is place the grill back on how it originally was and slide it back over. Make sure that you reconnect your safety sense plug because it will throw a code if you don't. And then we are going to replace our pins and our two 10 millimeter bolts. Once all of that is put back on, you are ready to run the wiring. A lot of people may not be familiar with wiring, but with the harness that is provided with your Cali Raised LED light bar, it makes it very simple. I'm gonna do a quick explanation of the harness before we start running the wires. When you get your harness from Cali Raised LED, it will look just like this. You will have the universal button style switch. You will have the DT plug, which will plug into your light. You will then have your battery connectors, hot and ground, with a fuse and your relay. All of these parts are built into the harness so that you don't have to do any additional wiring. When we run our wiring, typically what we will do is we will start at the light. So starting at the light, will plug in to the plug end of the harness. What we're going to want to do is run the wire down along this channel right here behind the headlight to plug into the light bar. There are several places down here where you can securely zip tie the wiring so that it is not bouncing around. Now that we have the harness plugged into the LED bar and the original lead that goes from the harness to the light fully secured and tucked away cleanly, we're going to run the switch into the cab. If you are using our OEM switch, you will want to cut the harness about right here to run the lead into the cab. If you are going to use the factory switch that came on the harness, you are going to want to unplug this Molex connector so that you can cleanly run through the cab, through the firewall, and replug back in. If you are wiring up our OEM switch, you will want to watch that video separately as we go into detail the wiring configuration and how to set it up. After we run our wires through the firewall, we are going to then connect the battery. You do not want to connect the harness to the battery before, because if any of your wires touch, you could possibly blow the fuse on the harness. So after the harness lead with the switch is run through and fully secured, we are going to then connect the harness to the battery. You will notice on the harness that there are two leads, a red wire and a black wire. The red wire is going to go on the positive terminal on your battery. The black wire is going to go onto the ground. When doing this, you will want to run all the wires on the inside right here, tucked away nicely and zip tied. As you can see, this vehicle already has some accessories on it, so you can see where we have already run some wiring previously for the other accessories. So you will want to make sure that you do a nice clean job of tucking everything away, so not only does it look nice, but it is not cluttered in the engine bay. So now when you're running the wire through your firewall, you have a few different options. We recommend going right alongside here where my pointer finger is. You can take a small X-Acto knife and cut a slit in the boot so that you can push the wire through. You can also pull it aside like that and run the wire through as well, but we recommend going just to the side right here. When the wire comes through, you will have it come through right at the top where those slits are in the carpet. When you're poking the wire through, you might have to reach your hand in there and pull the carpet back a little bit so that the wire can feed through properly. Sometimes it will pop through the carpet itself, but most of the times you're gonna have to pull part of the carpet back to allow the wire to feed right through. Don't worry, the carpet will go all right back, no problem. Now that you have all of your wiring finished, the last part is to get your relay squared away. The relay is quite fragile, so you don't want to just have it banging around under the hood of your truck. You want it to be securely attached somewhere. We make a relay holder that will attach in your engine compartment and allow for the relay to mount directly on it by removing this tab and sliding the relay over. This is a really nice little gadget because it allows you to hold 4 relays really neatly under the hood of the truck. Thank you for watching the video of our Cali Raised LED 32-inch lower bumper light bar kit. Please visit our website, caliraisedled.com. Thanks.